Good to see you. It is now 3 p.m. We are in a weather impact alert that started at 2 p.m. just an hour ago, bringing you the latest updates as we track a very active radar across North Carolina. This weather impact alert is going to go until 9 o'clock tonight due to the threat of some of these locally heavy downpours and storms, bringing in flash flooding as well as a damaging wind threat to our area. If you get issued in any type of warning, whether it's flash flood or severe thunderstorm warning, make sure you're indoors and, of course, off the roads. It doesn't take much to hydroplane, and of course, if you see a road is flooded, please do not attempt to drive in it. So we do have this alert until 9 o'clock tonight. I wanted to start out by taking you over to our look at the graphics system, and I'm going to put myself on there too. There we go. And as of right now, there is one new severe thunderstorm warning. It's until 3:15, and that's for both Durham and Granville counties. That's out toward our east, just north of Raleigh. But we still have a couple of strong thunderstorms moving through the triad currently as we speak. So I'm going to go over to our live sweeping radar that can kind of show us what we're kind of seeing across our area. Lots and lots of downpours currently making their way through Alamance County, moving toward Burlington, Altamaha. This is kind of right over Saxapahaw too. I know you guys have had a lot of recent flooding issues, and this is a lot of heavy rainfall that's been coming down right over Alamance. Gibsonville is really where we're seeing the most heavy rainfall across the area. Right along Highway 87 is where we just saw it kind of pass through in portions of Saxapahaw. Just passing through Rock Creek. It's kind of continuing to push northeast fairly quickly, but I'm sure we're probably going to be seeing some redevelopment with these storms, not only for Alamance, but also across all of the Triad area. It's really going to be hit or miss. Everybody wants to know, I keep getting the question of, is it going to hit, X at this, at X time? It's really hard to say exactly where and when these pop-up storms are going to form when it's summertime. We don't have a main system that's driving these storms through the area. When we don't have an upper-level steering current, such as a cold front pushing in through the area, it's really hard to time these storms and know exactly where that would be. With a cold front, we have a line moving through the area that we're able to track and know the timeline of and know where the line would be coming in and where you would see those storms. But these, with summer storms, they bubble up fairly quickly, and then, of course, they continue to bring locally heavy downpours, and they can be really scattered in nature, as you can see right here on the map. Kind of zooming out just a little bit, Guilford County mainly dry for right now, other than that one shower kind of just toward the northeast of Sedalia. Continuing to also track some storms in our westernmost counties. One actually flash flood warning just outside of our area. That's in Ashe County. That's until 9 o'clock tonight. But those same storms are continuing to push into Allegheny, into Wilkes, into Yadkin counties, and also into Surrey counties as we speak. A lot of heavy rainfall, and I'm sure they're going to be redeveloping as they continue to kind of move in and over the mountains too. So another storm cluster I can kind of see right now is actually moving into Davie County. So I'm going to zoom in a little bit, right near Callahan, excuse me if I did mispronounce that. But these storms really are packing a punch with some damaging winds, locally heavy downpours. That one really they're kind of cutting both sides of 40 right now. And right there along Moxville and Callahan, that's where we're seeing these pop-up storms form at the moment. But they really can be pretty sporadic across the area. One we just had form in just the last couple of radar scans just toward the east of High Point, actually. South of Jamestown, where we're seeing Martin Luther King Jr. Drive, Triangle Lake Road. This is also Harvey Road, right along Grandover Parkway is where this locally heavy downpour just kind of popped up. The good news is that I don't see anything severe in our area as of right now, but of course we're continuing to track some other severe warnings toward our east where these storms really are continuing to pop up. I do think that we're going to see a couple of severe thunderstorm warnings heading into the night tonight, especially since it's only 3 o'clock and we already have a pretty busy radar. Daytime heating, that heating along with the humidity and the moisture that we already have sitting in and across the triad really kind of add some fuel for these storms to form fairly quickly. You can see a lot of clouds of ground lightning within these storms too. And of course, I said it in my last cut in at 2 o'clock, but I want you to know that they really can strike well outside of the storm. Around 20 miles away from the storm is where lightning can go. So if you hear thunder, please head indoors. Again, this is until around 9 o'clock tonight. This is the latest futurecast. Starting to see these become a little bit more scattered and possibly heavier and stronger between around now all the way until around 6 or 7 o'clock. Moving in and across our area, I do think that most of them will be out of our hair by around 8 or 9 o'clock. But of course, if that changes, we'll continue to bring you those updates and let you know what the latest forecast holds. We are going to begin to dry out as we step overnight and into early tomorrow morning. Isolated shower or two possible, but most of us going to be staying dry. I've been saying it the last couple of weeks, but I'll say it again. The mornings really are the best time to get out and enjoy the day. It's a little bit cooler. The humidity, the dew points aren't nearly as oppressive, feeling at least for the morning hours whenever we're in the 70s and 80s rather than, lower 90s and feeling like near triple digits. But also not that we're not seeing the risk of scattered storms as much in the morning. It really is a afternoon and evening kind of thing with these storms. So we are tracking an area for a possible severe thunderstorm watch, and that it does include parts of the Triad and parts of central North Carolina. So we'll continue to keep you updated on that. As of right now, a watch has not been issued. The only alerts for the area are going to be the heat advisory, and that's actually more toward the east of our area. It does include Montgomery County, which of course we do cover. This heat advisory does go until 8 o'clock tonight due to the fact that air temperatures in those shaded orange areas are in the low to mid 90s, and with dew points that are super oppressive and tropical feeling, they feel like they're in the upper triple digits, but between 105 up to around 107. So definitely a heat advisory needed for those areas. And even if you're heading that way, and even if you're just out here in the Triad, it is hot, it is humid. Please make sure you're staying hydrated. A look at our lightning tracker across the area. Strikes up to around 475 just for North Carolina. And you can see how scattered these clustered storms kind of are. Again, some areas not seeing any other strikes. You do see that one kind of lone strike in southeastern Guilford County from that one nearby storm in Sedalia. But we are continuing to watch these storms kind of form, and they are going to kind of overperform with lightning and locally heavy downpours as they continue to kind of form in and across our area. I wanted to show you our flash flooding risk for our area. It is a 2 out of 4. There is a higher risk toward our west and northwest, as you can see over there, kind of toward West Virginia and toward Kentucky. You can see that kind of a level 3 out of 4, but we're still in a level 2 out of 4 for our area specifically, meaning that scattered flash floods could be possible over the next several hours as these storms move through. But I really think it's going to be more of a case of these storms redeveloping over the same areas that kind of have already seen enough rain, and the rain has to go somewhere. You already have the saturated grounds, and the rain can just cause problems from then on out. When you already have the saturated grounds and the rain has to go somewhere, and it can just cause a lot of problems, especially for places with poor drainage. And of course, the roads that flood a little bit easier, the ones that are a little bit more vulnerable, and the places that have already seen a lot of rain just these last couple of weeks. So we'll be keeping you posted on those flash flood warnings. Another thing, severe storm risk for our area. Most of us in a level 1 or a level 2. More so our northeastern counties are in that level 2. That means that there's higher confidence in the storms being more scattered across our area, and that means that we could see a couple of severe thunderstorm warnings heading through now all the way until 9 o'clock tonight through at the end of our weather impact alert. So we'll keep you posted on that. Tomorrow, there is a lower risk for flash flooding. Only some of our counties, westernmost counties, really in that level 1, and some of our counties in a level 1 marginal risk for an isolated strong or severe storm. But lower than we're seeing today, so we're just going to be keeping it for now, for today being an alert day, and and that just be the case for now. And if we have any changes in the next several days as we continue to monitor the forecast for any sort of change, we'll keep you posted on that. But for now, today is a weather impact alert day, and that is it. Tomorrow is drier, and then we start to see a little bit more unsettled weather for Monday and Tuesday, but then we start to really dry out by Wednesday and through the end of the work week. Storm threats, same thing as what we saw just yesterday. Highest things are going to be the damaging wind and the flash flooding for the area. I'm going to give you one last peek here at our radar, then I'll show you our 7-day and kind of let you go from there. Of course, I'll continue to bring you updates here at the top of every hour. As we continue coverage on WFMY Plus, there is that severe thunderstorm warning just toward our east in portions of Raleigh, central North Carolina, with more storms continuing to bubble up and form across our area. Wouldn't surprise me at all if we get a severe thunderstorm warning just within the next hour or so, as these storms really kind of kick off with the heat and humidity across our area. So make sure you have a way to receive severe weather alerts as we head into the next several hours. I'm going to take this full if I can. There we go. So you can get a full glance at your full 7-day forecast. Over the next several days, we really are going to be starting to dry out across the area. Tomorrow afternoon and evening, again, most of us staying dry, which is nice, but it's still going to be hot and humid. Mainly dry by the middle of next week. We're in the mid to upper 80s, but we're heating up for Friday and over the weekend. Of course, I'll continue to bring you the latest coverage on our live radar and the check of the forecast at the top of the next hour. I'll be with you at 4 o'clock. I'll see you then.